My name is Ryan Lee Eubank.
Yeah, I'm Voltaire Valle.
I've been climbing on and off since I was 18. Only weekend warrior back then, but pretty steady for the past 7 years again since joining Sportrock.
I went climbing for the first time in 1995. Sort of climbing on and off. Pretty much the same story, except when I moved back and started climbing at Sportrock. And then...
That's when we met.
Exactly.
It was kind of a second part. The first thing we decided we wanted to climb was a half dome. So we had to kind of make it through goal 1 to make it to goal 2. It was kind of a test piece. So once we had got the ascent of half dome, it was a natural progression. El Cap was next.
I mean, the first time I saw El Capitan was in 1995. I went to Yosemite for the first time, and driving into the valley, you just see this huge piece of rock, and it was just like, whoa.
I'll never forget the first time I rode into the valley and saw that. It's just larger than life. Like, you ride in, and even in the dark, we were both, every time we rode in, it's been in the night. And even in the dark, this thing just looms out of the trees, and you come into a clearing, and you're just looking straight up at this thing. It just seems like it never ends. It's crazy. I saw it first in an old guidebook, and it was on the front cover of it. And back then when I was 18, I said, oh man, wouldn't it be something if we could actually one day learn enough to actually climb this thing? So it was kind of surreal.
The first time I saw it, I was like, people climb that?
I know, it just
That's ridiculous.
Looks impossible.
And then it wasn't until like, a few years ago that it started to come together. It was like, you know what?
We can do this.
Might be able to climb that.
It's a process of skill, learning the skills, and a process of building the nerve to actually go up there and try it, because it's just scary. It's 3/4 of a mile of granite, straight up. It's a process mentally to get yourself ready to even think about doing something like that. You can't just wake up one day and say, oh, I think I'll go climb El Cap today. It just doesn't work like that. So.
Although that's kind of what we do with half dome.
Well, it's sort of.
Then we figured out.
Well, we figured out that you actually have to train.
Gotta learn some stuff first.
Systems. So, protection-wise, actual climbing gear, we took 3 of each size of gear for the different size.
3 of all the cams, 3 of all the nuts.
Every size hook, cam hook, and sky hooks.
Our dynamic rope, our lead rope, and a static rope. Yeah,
static rope was the haul line to haul our haul bag, which is huge, man-sized.
Enormous.
How much water did we bring, Voltaire?
What was it, 16 gallons?
Yeah, gallon per person per day. We planned for 4 days.
8 gallons, sorry.
8 gallons.
8 gallons.
You don't plan for summertime in Yosemite being as hot as it is.
Yeah.
And how much you actually need up there when you're working that hard.
And it was pretty windy, so.
It just dehydrates you to death. I mean, food-wise, we took a mix of canned foods. You were big on the beef stew.
Yeah.
I stuck with the liquidy, more soups, clam chowder.
Which was better.
Yeah, more liquid, because I was kind of thinking it was going to be hard to eat solids up there. I was, at this point, after making a second trip out there to do it, I was determined. When I even started, the nerves are always there, the butterflies, but I was just thinking, go, 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 go. I've been thinking about it for a year since we had to bail, so I was ready to go. When I first started, I think I placed 3 pieces of gear on the first pitch.
Yeah, you were climbing fast.
Running up the thing. And Volt's like, maybe you should play some gear. I'm like, we don't need it.
I could be okay.
It's fine, it's 5-7.
Top of the pine line, and this is pitch 1.
All the way up.
So 150 feet of climbing.
65. Oh, we got 165 to go.
No, I just mean 150 feet to here.
Yeah.
And then the next pitch. Pitch 1.
And a valley floor.
And to haul through this crap over here.
Yes.
Hopefully it'll get a little more vertical.
Yeah.
Let's get it on.
Do it again.
Ryan rocked out.
It took, what, 35 minutes for me to climb?
Pitch?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was running
you
up the
cranked
thing.
that out.
35 minutes, I think I did the first pitch, which is a long pitch. It says it's 165. It was almost a rope stretch. It was like 200 feet. So the topers are not always completely accurate. So you got the weight of 2 ropes hanging completely from you. The higher you go, the more weight of rope you have. So 200 feet, you got a lot of weight hanging from you. The goal was an hour pitch.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work out that way. It depends on the logistics of it and what you're doing.
I don't know, you picked it up. You estimated about...
I picked up you, and then I picked up the haul bag.
That's right.
You weighed about 165 pounds?
No, I weigh about 145.
All right, so it was easily 20 pounds heavier than you, so it was probably about 165.
He picks me up, and then he picks up the haul bag.
I'm like, it definitely weighs more than you.
A little more than you.
Yeah.
Oh boy, this is a hell of a pendulum. Yeah. Oh man. All right, here we go. gotta go lower. I'm like 3 feet, 4 feet short. Come on. Almost. Come on. The leash was too short. I might need like 3 more feet, dude. Come on. Almost. Got it.
Stove legs, definitely infamous pitch, Warren Harding, that they didn't have cams back then. They had pitons, but they didn't make pitons that big for a hand-sized crack. So he cut off old stove legs and drove those into it, drilled some holes in it and drove those into it, kind of make his own piton for that size crack. Totally different from what bad ethic considered today, but yeah, we have a lot better gear, a lot cleaner. But that crack goes for literally 400 feet, 400-foot hand crack. It's like, it's got to be one of the longest ones in the world. It's pretty long.
It's
longest
amazing.
ones in the world. Yeah, it just goes and goes and goes. Back then, the ethic was get it by any means, and that was driving iron pegs basically in the cracks and standing on them and hanging from them. Now that's considered bad ethic. It destroys the rock.
Puts like pin scars.
Is what they call them.
You know, because they bang them in and then you need them later, so you gotta bang them out with a big hammer.
Makes holes bigger and bigger and bigger. So yeah, nowadays everything's clean. You have camming devices, you squeeze the trigger, you put it in, it opens up, and when you're done, you squeeze the trigger, it comes right out as easy as it went in.
Well, the first time I tried it,
You made it through this part, actually.
made it through the pendulums though, no problem. It's actually super fun running across the wall, you know, 800 feet off the ground.
Full speed, running sideways on the wall.
Yeah, it's super fun. So, you know, I made it to the stove leg crack, and, you know, I climbed up most of the way. I was like probably 10 feet from the anchor. And at that point, I was mantling up. So I had my arm, I was pressing up onto a ledge, and one of my feet slipped, and I just, you know, jammed my shoulder up like this, and worst pain I've ever felt in my life. Like, everything went white, and I'm like, oh.
And I remember you yelling, Ryan, I think I'm gonna pass out.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, no, stay with me, stay with me.
He's like, don't do that. Like, you know, this arm didn't really work, so, you know, whenever I tried to move it, it was like, ah. And so I had to figure out how to get back from there. Because usually if you hurt yourself on a climb, you can just kind of lower back down.
But you're around a buttress and up 100 feet, so you had to build several anchors lowering yourself out. You were pretty creative for being injured.
Yeah, I had to do some stuff.
You left a lot of money in gear
with one hand, so we just had to go down. There wasn't going to be any more climbing after that. But for climbers, trying to rappel with one hand is kind of an interesting experience. So like you're anchored to the anchor. So what I would do is I would like pull up on the anchor and I would say, hey Ryan, can you unclip me? And then I'd be on rappel and rappel down. So there's one time I'm like, hey Ryan, can you help me out? So he just reaches over and he like lifts me up so that I can unclip myself. I'm like, oh, thanks.
I think you actually told me you loved me at that point.
I may have said that. I may have said that.
You said it. I love you, man. It was our first night fully on the portaledge. I mean, we set it up, but we were on a flat wall hanging. This is our first time we had to deal with the logistics of setting up a portaledge completely hanging. You know, most of the stopping points have ledges, but this point we were on a flat sheer wall. We're both hanging from anchors, and we've got to set this thing up, get ourselves on it without flipping over. So it was a big learning experience. We had never had to do that.
You would think we would try to figure that out before, but
you can't really practice setting it up on a wall unless you're on a wall. And we were at this point destroyed. It was a long, hard first day. Like, you're just imagining doing it for a couple more days, you're just like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was ridiculously hard.
It's hard to even explain how tired you get up there between hauling and climbing and dehydration. Even on the first day dehydrated, we're just like, good God.
He had lit a lot of pitches.
In the dark. We finished it, and I had to finish that with no headlamp because I got benighted.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had to finish the stove leg pitch
in the dark.
Trying to find the anchor, taking a leap of faith at the end to try to, like, I thought I saw a chain. I'm like, I think this is a chains. Last second we launched from, I'm like, whew, okay, clipped in and like, all right, Bolt, you're fixed. I'm done, tapping out. Like, I'm just gonna hang here and just recover for a second
He
because
was
I'm
exhausted,
done.
You know.
Little fat tire celebration.
What do we got here? Fat tire?
Yeah.
Here.
After dinner treat. All right, Amanda. 8 more tomorrow.
8 more tomorrow.
Let's do this.
Here.
And then after dinner, when we decided that it's time to go to sleep, that's when the cramps start.
Voltaire's
I can't.
Voltaire's geriatric ass.
Cramps every muscle in my body.
And look, I can't say anything because I'm standing up because both my thighs cramped up too. It's like the geriatrics convention up here.
We laid down. It was silent for a split second of both laying there, and then all of a sudden it hit Bolt first. I just heard, oh! I'm like, what is wrong with this guy? And then about that time, I mean, literally 10 seconds later, it hit me, and oh my God. We were both cramping and yelling. I jumped up on the portaledge. I'm like hanging in there. I'm like, oh, holding on to it, trying to get the cramps to stop. And it was everywhere. The legs, the arms, everything was cramping. That was just awful. Awful.
It's gonna be a long night, dude.
It's gonna be a long night.
Damn, dude, we're getting old.
Oh man. That's
It's horse shit. Should have done this in our 20s.
yeah, really.
So I was like, hip flexor was cramping, so to stretch that, you kind of like, you put your hip up like that, you know, and then, you know, then like your quads or your hamstrings cramp, so you're like bend like this, trying to stretch that out, and you're like, oh.
Couldn't get it to stop. You move one way and it started
At
another.
some point, you just kind of just lay there and you're like,
In pain.
it hurts, it hurts, it hurts.
It finally stopped. We went to sleep. We didn't get cramps any other night
cramps the
like
rest
that.
of
It was
the
the first night.
Yeah.
And I don't know what was like, your body was in shock that you're like, I think your body just got to the point where it said, all right, they're just going to work the crap out of it, so you might as well just let it ride.
That first day.
The first night was
definitely hard.
awful.
Morning, second day. First thing in the morning. Voltaire looking a little bit rough.
The next morning, like when we woke up, I mean, you're hurting. I mean, from working that hard the day before. You go through a lot in your mind trying. I mean, you start to question: is this really worth it? I mean, you're working this hard. You're up. I mean, you're dead tired. You're hurting, and you're like, we've got a long ways to go. Do we really need to do this? Do we want to get to the top that bad? And the cool thing about a good partner is, and it seemed to work out over the years, is when one of us like would mentally fail, the other one would jump in and pick up. Like if I started questioning, like I even asked Bolt. It was almost at that moment. I asked Bolt, like, do we really want to do this? And Bolt looked down without even hesitation and said, yes, let's go. You know, that's all you need in that moment is somebody to say, yeah, yes, we're going to the top of this thing. And all of a sudden you're like, all right, we're going to the top of this thing. And it just changes your mindset in an instant.
You know, the climbing isn't the hard part. Like the hard part is like the mental, just keep going.
Yeah.
You know, you just have
and
to
it sounds
keep going.
so simple, but it's so hard to make yourself keep going when you're that tired. You're constantly doing something. You're either climbing, or you're fixing, or you're hauling, or you're belaying, and doing rope management. So the whole day you're doing something. You're never just chilling. You know, you're never just hanging there. And when you are, you just kind of go to sleep. Like when you're belaying and sitting in the little Bunsen chair, you kind of just lean over to the rope and take a little nap until you feel the rope tug, and then you give your partner. It's not the same. I mean,
it's not good belay technique, but you know, when you're tired,
when you don't sleep, you
got a gree-gree, so
that's
you know,
what gree-gree's
it's
for.
auto-locking. You know, you're sitting there in the chair and you just kind of like, you lean over, you give him some slack, and you're like, it's okay.
Voltaire aiding up pitch 12. I'm on Dolt Tower. We got 70 feet more to go on this. And then I got a fist crack all the way up to El Cap Tower. Nice big ledge for 6, but unfortunately we got 2 more pitches to go. We got Texas Flake and Boot Flake to go still before the night is up, so I'm sure we'll be climbing into the night tonight. Voltaire, this is the master portaledge setter-upper, if that's how that's said.
I've set it up exactly one more time than you.
Oh, okay. That makes you the master then of the group. So we get to this fantastic bibby ledge. This is El Cap Tower. This thing is massive. It's like 5 feet wide. And probably, yes, 14 feet long. Nice runner on it so we can leash in, and Bolt's gonna sleep on a portaledge and I'm gonna lay out on this rock tonight. Try to get some freaking sleep. We didn't sleep at all last night. early dinner. We gotta ration our water now. So beer is the liquid for the night, and
Still got a liter.
well, we'll tackle that. We gotta start rationing though.
All right. How much water you got left?
About a liter.
About a liter.
I don't know why I don't drink as much water.
He's like a camel.
Maybe
He
it's that
stores
tropical
it up.
thing.
I don't know. But for me, I mean, I need a lot of. I require a lot of water.
You rationed to okay.
You ration. Let's keep
My
credit
ass.
where credit's due.
Ryan wanted to bring way more water. I was like, I can't haul that much water. So
I wanted 5 days worth. Bolt wanted 4 days worth.
So we've got,
We're probably gonna have to ration for a couple of pitches on the 5th day.
yeah, we've got well, we've got a gallon per person for 4 days. So,
And I'm gonna tell you right now, rationing sucks on these walls during the day.
In the heat, I mean, it was probably in the
It's in the 90s.
90s
High
during
90s.
the day.
Yeah, in the sun,
And
definitely.
on top of that, the wind's blowing like crazy, taking the moisture out of your skin. So you're getting dehydrated on 2 different levels, you know? It's coming out of you all like crazy.
but I still got,
Yeah, you got a little over a liter there.
well, it's 2 liters,
Well, plus that.
close to 2 liters. I only drank half my ration today. What the hell you doing?
You're like a damn camel. My white ass needs water.
Man, so my technique is take a Jolly Rancher, stick it up in here, right up in here, right? And it just sits up there, right? Then you keep your mouth closed. If you breathe through your mouth, you are screwed.
You keep the Jolly Rancher in your mouth.
Yeah, a little
and,
big
like,
wall trick.
It keeps you a little. It keeps it a
Saliva
little moist.
coming a little bit, yeah. So you always, even when you have to stop drinking water, you constantly have a Jolly Rancher in your cheek, and it keeps you. It works barely, just enough to keep you keep a little bit of moisture in your mouth, but it's still awful.
Do not breathe through your mouth. You hear that?
I tried that today. Fool, I like to breathe too.
You can't breathe through your mouth. Like if you're breathing through your mouth, you'll just totally dry out.
With
Like
the wind blowing as hard as it is, you get flash dry. It's like you take one breath, whoosh, your mouth is dry. So you have to keep your mouth shut, breathe through your nose, in and out, and it keeps your mouth moist. But doing this for days is hard.
It's hard.
You look down at the river.
You see people
Look down there.
frolicking, splashing.
Down there.
It's like seeing people splashing around in the river.
They're like, hee hee,
You're
it's
like-
cold.
Freaking thirsting to death up here.
Like, I'm up here, shut up. John Locke talks about that all the time. just
Being
like-
up on the walls and
Being up on the wall, no water, and like, oh well. Next time, I'll bring
Smarter.
more water.
we gotta
Who
make
knew?
we gotta make it work this time though.
This is dinner for me.
Yeah,
I don't need a spicy Italian something or other. Ryan was way smarter than me. He got like corn chowder soup. It's like, man. I'm
Yeah.
looking over there. I'm like, oh.
It's a lot more liquidy, a lot easier to eat when you're dying of thirst.
Here we are.
We wanted the summit of El Cap, the nose.
This is what we did to ourselves.
We got ourselves in this.
This is what we do on vacation.
Yeah. Beach or boat next time, man.
Cruise, man.
Look, I'm with you.
It's
Can
alright.
I come?
Yes, man.
We can
Let's do
celebrate this.
Type 1 fun.
Yeah,
You want to
yeah,
have
yeah.
some Type 1 fun next time?
Yeah, to hell with this Type
about
2
that?
fun.
You know, one of the things that we've learned is that these are the best things ever in the history of rock climbing.
Kindergarten and big wall. Those are two damn things they're good for.
Mandarin. It's like, oh man, these are so like. Yesterday, you should have seen me. Yesterday, I popped open my cup, and like some of it spilled on my, it popped out, spilled on my shirt, and I was like, no! I was like
Sucking it off his
the
damn
juice off
shirt.
my because this, oh man,
It's like
Oh.
just straight sugar rush from fresh. It's just so good.
nectar of the gods. It's like, oh,
It's just so good.
so good. Just thought we had to have a little video of that because, oh man,
It is the
This-
best part of the day.
it is definitely the best thing during the day.
Mandarin oranges.
Oh, so good.
And we'll-
We did not get enough of these.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Once again, Ryan's way smarter than me. I wanted maybe we should get a mix of things. No. We should have just got all
Mandarin oranges.
Mandarin oranges.
Oh, no.
Maybe one of these days I'll listen to your ass.
Voltaire racking up for the infamous Texas Flake pitch.
Woohoo!
Got a little bit of everything.
feet of run out 5/8 chimney.
Yeah.
Is that it?
So it's supposed to be only 30 feet of it. Texas Flake, then I'm gonna lead up to the top of the boot, and then it's the
King swing.
King swing, baby. Gonna be fun. Gonna be fun.
So Texas Flake is this huge, like this completely detached, huge flake of rock. It's like what, like 4 feet thick?
A little less than that. I'd say it's 3 feet thick.
Like 3 feet
It's not
thick.
that thick.
Completely detached.
Sitting on a ledge.
Yeah, and it just sits there. To get up it, you have to use chimney technique. So, you know, if you've ever, you know, as a kid tried to climb up in a doorway and like you got your back on one wall and
Pushing
like
your feet against
your
the
feet
other.
on the other wall. So, you know, you just kind of scoot your way up that way. And
It's insecure because you can't protect it.
yeah, there's no gear in there, right?
Yeah.
There's a bolt about halfway up, so you got to climb up about 25, 30 feet.
It's at least 30 feet.
Yeah.
Maybe 35.
30 feet before you clip, and that's the only bolt
For the whole
whole
pitch.
pitch.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're just kind of like sitting there, you got your, you know, back against one wall, your feet against the other wall, and just kind of, okay.
Supposedly secure, but it's nerve-wracking because you're looking at a lot of air below you, you know, down the chute.
You just slide down. I mean, you know, you probably wouldn't get hurt too much. You just like scrape up. You get scrape the whole way down. You're like, trying to climb down.
I've never slid out of a chimney because I've always been pressing so hard against the wall, scared to death to come out of it. So I don't know. It tips away from the wall. It's not just sitting there straight vertical. It leans away from the wall. This thing does. So the higher you get, the bigger it gets. And then when you're on the very top, you kind of flop over on top of this thing, exposed completely on the other side, sheer wall. And then it's, you know, it looks like it's about 4 feet wide at that point there.
Yep.
So everything you were attaching and anchoring to is on the other side of the wall. So you're leaning across the crevasse there trying to clip in and do all the work that you have to do to get ready for the next pitch. Pretty exposed. You can see it's super exposed right there.
Yeah, and I've got short arms, so like leaning across there, you gotta lean like this. It's you gotta look straight down into the void.
Where we at? Standing on top of Boot Flake. Give them a shot of this. Come up right there. Got a little sliver of rock on top of this thing. Don't even know how this thing's held on either.
Toe of the boot right there.
Yeah.
And I'm going down there.
Getting ready to do the king swing, baby.
King swing.
Rock this out.
All right.
You can't just, when you're doing a pendulum and you're cleaning that pitch, I mean, you have to get, you know, away from that last anchor and get to the next anchor. You can't just lower out to it because there's not enough rope. So I don't know if, I doubt somebody placed this. It has to be natural. But this tombstone of sliver of granite is just shoved in the boot flake. And I mean, you can't see it from the ground, but it's just small. But somebody just wrapped some slings around it, so you lower half of the pitch out when you're cleaning it. You go in direct to this tombstone of rock, and you're literally hanging from this sliver of rock. You know, of how far?
Did the thing move?
50. It did. You can wobble the thing. So I'm like, it's just nerve-wracking. So I literally just stood on the boot and did all my work and just, you know, I'd never really weighted the thing. I lowered down to it, stood there, I clipped into it, but I never weighted it. Pulled the rope, re-threaded it, and then at the last second waited and like, dear God, please let it hold. And just lowered the rest of the way out. You know, it was, yeah, one of the more nerve-wracking parts of it. And you know, all I'm doing is trying to get back in line with Voltaire on, you know, from the end of his pendulum. But yeah, it's nerve-wracking hanging from that thing.
And like the thing probably weighs like a couple 100 pounds, and it's, you know, it's solid, but it's
you can move it.
It's moving.
The thing moves.
The king swing was
Most fun part.
amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, it was just amazing. You lower down about 80 feet, and then you are sprinting across the wall.
All right, V, get it, boy. Yeah, come on, go, 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 go. Hey! Come on, V. Solid, boy. Yeah, boy, come on. Get it, get it, get it. Nice, bro, nice.
If you decide to big wall climb just to do this, it would be worth it. It would totally be worth it. You're just flying through the air.
Yeah, weightless feeling. It's
It's
cool.
amazing.
So here I am up here on the top of Boot Flake. Voltaire is around the corner. Cleaning up the eagle ledge pitch so we can slide this bag across the wall. So you can see the top of Boot. There's the bag. And I'm chilling on the top.
View is awesome. I mean, after about 500 feet, it all just starts to get kind of cartoony. It all looks the same. You lose depth perception of height and about how high you are. I mean, you know by the pitch count, but it just starts to look the same. You don't really see it until you get to probably the last 500 feet when you look down and think, oh God, we're really high now. But
Yeah, when you see the people.
yeah, that's
you
when
see the people down there.
That's
and
when
they're
you get a reference. It looks like ants down there.
yeah,
you
they're
know.
small. That's the question that everybody wants to know.
That's the #1 question in Big Wall. How do you go to the bathroom up there? You take it with you. That's what you do. Is good ethic.
So they've got these special
Explainable.
bags that they have now. They didn't used to have them. They used to
Yeah.
just like kind of like go into a paper bag or something. But
Yeah.
these things specially designed for this. They've got like a sheet of plastic that folds open, and there's actually some kind of
Silica gel in it.
yeah, silica gel that like absorbs liquid if there's any liquid. But the solid waste, you try to aim for the middle of the bag. Okay.
You hope that you hit the center of the bag.
Try to hit the center of the bag, and then
you take it with you.
you just you wrap it up, you put it inside the bag, and then we had another little
Waste
haul bag, like a small haul bag for the other stuff that we
Yep.
didn't.
It all goes in that bag and it clips to the bottom of your haul bag. So every time it's your time to come past the bag when you're coming back up to your partner, you get a nice little whiff of fun.
It's like, ooh,
You're jugging past and all of a sudden you watch and you're like, ooh, God. And then you go past it as fast as possible and like, oh God, get away from that.
I mean, it is pretty bad though. Like, in the morning when it's time, we're both on the ledge. There's not a whole lot of space on the ledge.
You get to know each other really well.
You just turn around. You just kind of like,
Look the other
all right,
way.
I'm still sleeping. Still sleeping.
The worst place to be is on the bottom on a portaledge too, because that smell kind of lowers.
Yeah.
So the very first time you went on the portaledge,
Okay.
I was looking the other way, laying down, thinking that was the best place to be. No, that is not the good place to be. That just comes down and kind of hovers on the portaledge. And I remember jumping up, going, "Oh dear God, this is awful." But
that's what everybody wants to know.
yeah,
We didn't shoot any video of that though.
None of that.
You just do that wherever.
Midair, if you pass any vegetation, you kind of water the trees.
The key is you don't want to pee where you're going to climb.
That's
anywhere off of the side.
That's
is
kind of,
okay.
and that's honestly kind of the ethic rule. That's kind of what everybody does. So at every big ledge that you pass, it kind of smells like a latrine.
It smells like a bathroom.
Yeah, it's sad, but you got to go. It's human nature, As long as you don't leave the other part, the number two.
Yeah.
Number one kind of rain washes it away eventually, sort of.
Except for like most of the summer in the valley, it doesn't really rain.
Yeah.
It doesn't rain there, right?
Voltaire,
Huh?
what does it never do in Yosemite?
It never rains in the summertime in Yosemite.
What did I ask you like 8 times if we were going to purchase along with this portaledge?
Rainfly?
Right. But it never rains here, right?
It never rains.
All right, why are we using our bed as a tent right now and not sleeping?
I think it might be raining.
Not only is it raining, it's freaking lightning,
There's
thundering.
lightning out there.
I just got struck by it.
You did not get struck by lightning.
Did you see the sparks? Did you see the sparks? Was I blind? Did you see them?
I saw the sparks. Did you feel sparks?
I felt something, dude. I'm telling you, when I clipped that bean and sparks flew, it freaked me the out.
I'll be honest though, rainfly isn't gonna help that situation. Oh God.
Now here we are.
Hi. Well, crazy didn't happen. Wouldn't have such a good story.
I can do without the lightning and the rain, dude.
Hey, look, it's not even raining now.
Not only we gotta get under this thing, we gotta smell the freaking piss from the rain washing this
down the mountain right on top of us.
The refreshing of the piss.
Oh my God. Did it like instantly reek of urine?
It did.
It was like boom, instantly.
Oh look, it smells like a bathroom again. we haven't even peed here yet.
It smells so fresh.
Fresh pee. Gotta love it.
What's the chances of getting struck by lightning? What's the percent chance?
1 in a billion.
Only me. Only me that happens to.
Of course, if you're on the like largest rock face in the, it might up your chances a little bit.
Oh, there it gets a bit stronger. That's good. Nice. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Just a little bit of rain. Can you imagine, like...
A torrential downpour?
Yeah.
Yeah, it don't have to. But it doesn't rain in Yosemite.
It didn't happen to me. You're the only one who got rained on there. I didn't even know you got rained on. I was perfectly dry. I didn't find out until this year that you got rained on.
I was soaked, drenched. But it don't rain. We don't need no fly. We don't need to borrow a fly. Oh, listen now. What is that? You hear it?
I think those are bugs.
Unbelievable.
All right, it's raining. I admit it. It rains 1 in every like.
All right, well, hey, here's to no sleep tonight. Cheers to that. We already drank our f***ing beers. We can't even cheers to it.
True.
All right.
Well,
Settling for a long night. Times. This is one of the fun things of Big Wall. Freaking hauling through a choppy, blocky mess. Voltaire just popping through trying to get the bag straight. Good work, man. So, I just got through leading. It might be the best pitch I've ever led in my life. Great roof. Voltaire is now cleaning it. He's got actually the hard part. I think I'd rather let it than clean it. But it is wicked. It's just wild. You go up this thin seam, and then bam.
This is the great roof pitch, but before this is Camp 5. We looked up and saw two guys, well, one guy dangling from his line off of the great roof, which is this it probably sticks out 25 or 30 feet off the wall. And this guy was just hanging there, and we were like, oh dear God, is this guy dead? Is he alive? What's going on? He wasn't doing anything. He was just hanging there. The whole day we saw helicopters circling around.
Yeah.
You wondering what is going on?
We thought they were trying to we kept looking back to see if they were trying to get in touch with us.
Us, right? What's going on? Do we we
like,
gotta get off the wall.
Fine.
Yeah, like, are we? We were trying to let them know, like, we're okay. We waved a couple times, but clearly they weren't for us. They were for, well, we didn't know ahead of time, but they were for these guys that had tried to make the ascent, made it to, I don't know, pitch 23. If you made it that far, I don't know why you don't go to the top, but they tried to bail and rappelled off of the great roof, which puts you way away from the wall. Didn't know how to ascend a rope. So they were clearly way unprepared to be on.
How in the world did they get up
how
that high?
How did they make 23 pitches and not know how to ascend a rope? They were stuck, and I guess one of them had a cell phone. They got reception and called Yosar. You would think they get you with a helicopter on El Cap? Nope. 3,500 feet of rope. They drop a spool anchored to the top of El Cap.
Two ropes. They dropped
two ropes.
right?
Yeah, double rope, and they're all tied together, and they just roll the spool and lower the rescuer all the way down to the climbers. Clip the climber to them and keep going all the way to the valley floor. Wildest thing I've ever seen in my life, actually.
Yeah, so they're rapping down past us while we're sitting on the ledge. And
we're super dehydrated at this point.
so we're like, hey, you got any water?
That's the first thing. No, first I said, hey man, are you okay? He's like, yeah, he was like out of it. And I said, you got any water in that pack? And the rescuer, he said, you guys don't have water? I said, no, we're good.
Well, we got water. We're just a little thirsty.
Yeah, a little thirsty,
right
but we'll make it. But it's crazy. It's like survival mode. You like hope he's all right, but I'd love to have the water that he's got there. You just go into survival mode up there. Like, I'm just trying to. You pass by water, like a bottle of water people leave. You don't know how long it's been there. You don't know whose it was or what disease they had. You drink it.
We picked it up.
You pick it up and you drink it. It just is what it. And you don't even think about it.
It's
just like, oh crap, there's water. It's going down the hatch. Done.
And you know how, like, when you have an empty bottle and it's like closed and then you get all this little condensation on the inside, you still pick that up. You pick it up and you try to get that condensation out.
You shake the condensation down and get every last little drop out of that bottle.
You try.
It's nasty, but you don't even care. At that point, you just want water.
Didn't even notice it was nasty.
Yep.
People just tell us later. That's nasty, dude. Well, we each had it was 2 liters a day. So We each had, like had two 2-liter bottles to drink.
We ended up separating it to try to keep track of how much water each of us were drinking.
Just so we would know how much we were drinking.
And I was clearly drinking more.
By the end of the day, I'm still got like, you know.
And I don't even know.
Got like almost a full bottle.
I don't even know how. Like, how is this guy not? How is this fool not drinking any more water than this?
I don't know. It's the mouth closed thing. You gotta keep the mouth closed.
Well, clearly wasn't that good at it. But you shared.
Yeah.
You would share with me at the end of the day.
Well, so I had to make sure you made it up because he was not looking good with the water. It's just like you need some water here. You should drink some of that.
Yeah. Even when that's dehydrated, the acids in food start to affect you like you wouldn't believe. Like even your teeth hurt. I mean, that's just crazy, but it's true. My teeth hurt. Like the acid in the fruit cups, like the most wonderful thing, the Mandarin oranges. The last day, I couldn't drink it because the acid in the syrup would hit your teeth and it was like electricity. Like you're like, oh God, so you stop. So what I was down to by the last day, I couldn't. Peanut butter has acid in it. The peanut butter would make my teeth hurt. So I was down to breaking little bits of bagel off, not the skin of the bagel, but the bread part of the bagel. I would take a little sip of water to soften it, and that was breakfast, and that was what I ate for a snack then midday too. Because everything just hurt at that point.
That's Voltaire up there leading pitch 25, headed to the glowering spot. That ought to be a wild photo. A little perch on a flat wall. Kind of like this one. He just came up from here. And I just led 24 up to here. Freaking crazy free climb at the end there, like 30 feet, really unprotected. Came up over here. It's kind of like slopey, bulgy climbing. I'm like, ugh, sketch, but fun. Super sketch, but fun. This nice belay ledge. Could be a bivvy as well. We are definitely not staying here. Bag, all our stuff. We are getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. He's on 25 now. Probably sleep at 26. I think that's camp 6. Anyway, headed north, man. We're gonna get this thing done. Poor Voltaire up there, hard at work, hating up that hairline seam. And what am I doing? I am chilling, giving a very attentive belay. I still got it. Chilling on this ledge. But right over on the edge. Woo! It's a long ways down. There's the shoe at the nose where we started. Come a long, long ways. It's unbelievable in this massive sea of granite. There's a path all the way up this thing. True proof. God was a rock climber. Believe it. This is a quick shot of our engineering job here of hanging all our gear. Camp 6. Pitch, what, 26? Yeah. Yeah, there's a portal ledge. We put that up, stood it up out of the way until we eat dinner. Then we gotta undo all this shit. And
Figure something out.
Figure something out.
I mean, it's kind of cool, like organizing gear when we get up to a ledge and we're getting ready to spend the night. You know, we would string some line up, like find some place to put some gear over here and find some place to put some gear over here.
It's like building your house.
And you just put up a, you know, it's like putting up a clothesline.
Yeah,
right?
we'd tie knots, limiter knots in it so stuff wouldn't just all slide together, and we'd put pieces of gear in and make separations. You know, this is the cams, this is we clip our shells, our outer layers, we clip our water to one section. Organization on a wall is key.
Well, but also with the organization, you got to clip everything to something.
That's right.
Otherwise, it's going to disappear. It's going to fall, and
have lots of extra beaners, lots of extra lockers, and you use them all. You clip food, you clip clothing, you clip
sleeping bag.
Everything gets clipped to something, so you don't lose it, and you don't unclip it until you got good grasp on it. You know, it doesn't matter where you're on a ledge or not, because you don't have much room to work with. So even a little slight movement, and boom, oh, there goes my water bottle, or there goes my belay device. You know, it just. You got to clip everything in.
I lost my belay device.
Well, you lose gear.
I do lose gear.
It's kind of what you do.
Yeah.
But we have extra.
I don't know. I don't think we had an extra belay rappel device. So, you know, I lost it around pitch 8.
And
so
you're like, well,
guess we won't be going back down.
You got to go up.
We got to go up.
See, this is what you're supposed to do. It's kind of gross, but
That's nasty. But Specially designed baggage.
That's right. But this is what the, I'm gonna blame it on them.
It's true. I would.
Can't see down there. Can you see down there? If you got a weak stomach, don't look. Because that is nothing but shit. That's nasty. And a damn shame.
Pretty good stance for a though. You just stand across
It
the
is,
track like that.
but uncalled for.
So it literally is full of feces. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
And you sleep here. So as you're eating dinner, as you're eating breakfast, and as you're laying on your, we still set up the ledge because I didn't even want to lay on this ledge knowing that people had gone on this grass. I'm like, we're still
right
setting
in
up
there.
the porta ledge.
Yeah.
So we just kind of hung over the ledge.
We covered it up.
Yeah.
A little bit.
We spread out like stuff over to try to, because the smell just comes up. I mean, you're laying there and you literally just smell crap. The case that you told the porta ledge, we kind of like stuffed it over the crack from where we were sleeping to keep the smell from coming up through to the ledge.
And to just prevent myself from like looking down. I was just like, I didn't even want to look down there. I'm like,
That's bad. That's just, I can't believe people would actually do that. Bad ethic. Somebody did it, clearly.
it's like, don't do that.
Whole lot of people climb this daggone wall.
Everybody's sleeping right here.
Yeah, you gotta right. The whole night you gotta smell piss and shit. It's kind of gross, actually. 2,600 feet, 2,700 feet above the valley floor at this point.
I think it's like 1,700 feet, right?
Yeah, right. Straight down. There's the toe down there. A little clearings our approach trail, and we're hoping that our car's still behind that tree down there. And then we don't have to go pay a tow bill when we get off this wall.
Be nice.
When you get above about 2,500 feet, and you're in the last 500, 600, 700 feet, you can tell you are up there.
Yeah, it starts to look different. I started to have a little bit of vertigo up there.
I've never had vertigo on a wall,
Yeah.
and it hit me. First time on El Cap. I got up, we were up there probably top of pitch.
25?
Yeah,
26.
somewhere around there. Last 6, 7, 8 pitches. And you start to look back on, oh dear God, we are way up
Yeah.
here.
It's like-
it's the first time it's ever hit me on a wall. And you think about it when you're up there making moves, you're like, okay, focus on what I'm doing, forget about where you are, and just climb, you know?
Yeah, you kind of stop looking around as much. You're like, it doesn't look right. Something wrong with those trees being that small.
Right. You're way high up here right now.
Well, man, bottom of the bolt ladder. Last pitch. This is what happens when you have like just the one bolt vertical anchor. Like the second bolt's up there, and then you got a bolt here, and it's like everything just has to be right stacked up on top of each other. It's the only time the whole route. I figured somebody would have put in another bolt.
So the last pitch is a bolt ladder. So you clip a ladder to a bolt, like this nylon ladder, and you clip the ladder, and then you climb up it, and then you clip the next one. And we've just been doing this for so long, but at this point, I wasn't really feeling anything except we're almost there.
I know,
We're
and
almost there.
even the dehydration kind of goes away, the hunger goes away, all that, even fear at this point, kind of is like, oh crap, we're actually going to get to the summit of this thing. This is something we both wanted to do for, well, both of us since we first laid eyes on it,
Yep.
you know, way back. So you start to get excited, like, we're going to summit. Like, you know you're on the last pitch, like, we're almost at the summit. So
I'm feeling a little excited just talking about
I
it
know.
right now.
It's kind of cool. Like you're right. You forget about everything else, but like, oh my gosh, we're gonna summit this thing. More excitement there. Everything goes away but that. You're just like pushing. Oh my gosh, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. And it's wild how your adrenaline, your mind takes over to put away all the other pain, and all you are is excited. It's wild. A lot of emotions up there. You go, it's crazy.
Come on, get it. Wait, come on. Hold on. 4 days.
Yeah? Yeah?
9 hours and 27 minutes.
Yeah, baby!
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, take that, Alex, and baby. Get it!
Something that you thought about doing 20 years ago, and to finally
That moment
Get
when
it
you
done.
do it. Yeah,
It's crazy.
you're standing up there going, man, I can't believe we summited the Nose of El Cap. It's a pretty cool moment when you're finally up there. It's surreal, and you just sit there and you just in reflection like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we just did that.
I don't know, maybe it was because I was exhausted, or
Blame it on that. Blame it on that.
There's a little bit of a tear coming out.
I definitely was a little
Yeah.
emotional at the top too. It was like, cause it's like I said, since I was 18 years old. When I first saw this thing in an old guidebook, I'm like, man, it would be really cool to be to know enough one day to be able to do this. So actually doing it was a cool moment.
Come climb at
Sportrock.
Come climb at Sportrock Climbing Centers.
I'll tell you everything you need to know.
5308 Eisenhower Avenue.
Start smaller. We skipped a lot of steps. We decided one day, like, I think we're just gonna go try to climb Half Dome. There's a thing called Road to the Nose that Super Topo puts out of different climbs that you can do to prepare yourself. You know, you get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
Try this first, and then try this, and then try this. We kind of just went, let's just try this.
Let's just try Half Dome.
Let's just go with the big one.
And we got shut down because of that the first time.
True.
But we learned a lot that trip. We spent the rest of the trip practicing our systems, and then the next time did it. There's plenty of books out there now that tell you exactly what to do, and don't just read them. Literally go out to a crag and practice them. Practice hauling, practice jugging, practice
lowering
aiding,
out.
Practice lowering out. It's key. It's a big thing to learn, which we learned on the fly.
On the fly.
Hanging
On
from
the
the wall.
wall. Yeah.
We're hanging there going, all right.
I think this is how this goes.
Looks like this is right, and let's see what happens. So, as great as that is, it's probably not the smartest thing to do, actually.
Probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, you should probably practice on the
Kids,
ground.
don't do that. I mean, I don't know. I don't really want to hang out with this guy anymore, but you take a dump next to somebody like on a ledge.
How much closer do you get to a person than that,
Pretty
right?
close bond right there.
Volt's like a brother from another mother, you know? It's a cool dude to hang out on the wall with. Like, we get along so well.
I mean, but the bond, like, you know.
It definitely is stronger.
Yeah.
After you go through something like that with somebody, when you're like, it's your physical limit, mental limit, and you like help each other along, you know, you're not just out on your own out there. You kind of encourage the other guy when he's like ready to give up.
Yeah.
You're like, no, we're going up, just in case you forgot. That's a bond you definitely form with somebody on the wall.
Yeah.
It's like a friend for life. A different kind of friend than just a buddy. I know. Oh God. It's not like that. We're too tough for that.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was super busy with work coming up to this, and a good friend of mine, John Lynn, thanks Johnny, helped me on a few projects to get them knocked out right before going out for this ascent. Yeah, so thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Grazi went out early, and she made sure we had a campsite for when we flew in, because she was out in Yosemite ahead of time.
Yeah, thanks, Grazi. She prepped it. She kind of prepped our arrival, so that saved a lot of time. It was good. So yeah, thanks, Grazi, for sure.
Thanks, Sportrock Climbing Centers, for
most definitely. We wouldn't
letting
have even
train there.
We wouldn't have even met if it weren't for Sportrock. And you know, and you got to have a place. When you live on the East Coast, you can't just go out there and practice every weekend. So you got to have a place to train. So the gym is kind of what you have until you go out to the crags. So yeah, so thanks Sportrock too, most definitely.